So what advice would you have for some of these business owners that want to grow cash flow right now? Would it be to buy real estate? I know you talk about buying gold when gold and silver are cheap, but where does business, like a business, fit into your model? Is it all
Well,
investing?
I don't know if people know this, but a franchise is technically a security.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, security is different than if I started Bobby's Pizza Company. Okay. So the moment you go securities, you're in in the cash flow quadrant, E, S, P, and the I. You're now in the I quadrant, and you better be more professional. That's all I'm saying. And so the reason I told him the story of my father, PhD, the guy didn't know from a hole in the ground, but he thought he did. I think we've all met people, especially educated people, who think they're smart just because they went to Stanford or Northwestern or whatever they go to school. But that was 50 years ago. You know what I mean? And they still don't have a financial. They have a 401k, which touch. But anyway, because I don't have to. I'm an entrepreneur. So an entrepreneur must have great financials, and it starts with a bookkeeper. And then I have a good accountant, I have an attorney, and I have a banker. That's the team.
And it's a financial team. I didn't hear any, a lot of other things in there, but it's a financial team.
Everybody wants more money today, especially after this COVID thing. Mm-hmm. So as an entrepreneur, all we're trying to do is figure out, we are going to do, we're going to figure out how to build our business without using Amazon. Now, I don't know how to do it today, but we're working on it as a team. That's how we think as entrepreneurs. But most people are not yet entrepreneurs. They may want to be one, but they don't have the formal training. And it's the training, not the money, that makes you rich.
That is so good. And that is what, when I look back, and then I got connected with the right franchisees, with the right franchisor that had the heart of a teacher that wanted to teach me. And I was the student where I was just soaking up everything from people that were actually doing it to the franchisor, and it excelled my progress. And to the point now, I'm going to ask a little advice from you. I started helping franchisees a few weeks ago. I said, anybody want to pay me some money and I'll coach you every month in a group session, because I got tired of helping people get into a franchise. And yet they're like poor dad, and they really don't have some of the basic things, or they want to scale. I mean, I've owned 7 different brands, and they want to know I'm doing well, and how do I start to scale it and start to do other things even beyond franchising?
If you really want to be an entrepreneur and you don't want to go through the learning curve that I went through, or Jobs went through, and all those guys went through, then buy a franchise. Start small. Get the best practices. Find somebody like you who's going to teach you. But if they don't want to learn, I think they're going to have their own problems. I'm still learning today.
From the investor quadrant, somebody that's sitting in I right now wants to go to the next level. Is that what the next book's about? Or what would you tell someone that wants to get advice from Robert Kiyosaki on how to be better in the I quadrant?
Well, I'll say it again. I follow the McDonald's formula. There's only one reason I'm an entrepreneur: buy real estate. Rich Dad is a real estate company. McDonald's is a real estate company. And that's why, even in this crisis, I'm making more money than ever before. Okay, because we study constantly. I have a team. I have a team of accountants, attorneys, bankers, doctors, and we all work together. So having a poor dad, I learned something really, really important. That my poor dad was basically a communist. You know what I mean? Most people are communists. No, they are. They want the government to take care of them. I don't want the government. Government has to take care of poor people, not me. But anyway, and they used to have all these union meetings. He's the head of the teachers union. And I saw something really interesting. I saw when teachers get together, or a mono profession, like accountants get together, attorneys get together, and doctors get together, and teachers get together, they get more stupid. I would sit there as a kid, 15 years old, watching these school teachers. They talked about paychecks, pensions. They just talked about crap, benefits. They took teaching too hard. They got more stupid. Whereas I go to my rich dad's office and he'd have accountants, attorneys, his business manager, his banker there, and they'd get together and they'd all talk about their problems. So the trouble with being in a model profession like school teachers or all doctors hanging together, you get more stupid. And to get out of the problems this world is in, and we all run into problems, you've got to raise your intelligence. And if your friends are a bunch of losers with no money, that's who you are too. I fear, Phil, that's the point here I want to with franchising, okay? It gives you best practices. And a good franchise will put you into the best practices early. So you don't have to learn the hard way that I had to learn. Now, I would start as soon as possible. And I would learn because next day you're smarter. The day after that, you're smarter.
So true.
Next day after, you're smarter. Now, if you don't start and you keep your daytime job, working in a Chinese restaurant or something, you don't get smarter. So my poor dad, he just hung on to his job security as long as he could, but he never got smarter. And then he bought himself on these no-lose, big-name franchises, ice cream company. He lost everything.
Yeah.
Because as a PhD, he thought he knew everything.
Yep.
And you and I know that ain't true in real life. And every day we can learn something new. So if you're going to learn about business, I would personally, especially if you're one of these old guys like me without a pension, I would talk to you about finding a franchise I can cut my teeth on, just so I can learn best business practices. Or you can open up your little pizza shop and go broke anyway.
Thanks for listening to the Franchise Secrets podcast. Links to everything can be found over at franchisesecrets.com. And if you want my help with anything from starting your own franchise to growing your current franchise business, please visit scalablefranchise.com.